No, I ain't trip.
Okay, so let's jump to this next scene where like he spent the night. Next morning they wake up. They're in the kitchen. She's eating a little breakfast, and this answering machine starts ringing. Right.
Yes, it
So
did.
she like not gonna get up and answer it. She's just engaged in the conversation with Yasir. So the first time the answer machine picks up, now again, this in the 90s, so it ain't no you press the button on your phone, it's the answer machine talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Keith. And he talking about this ski trip.
Right.
And I'm gonna circle back to Keith and that ski trip in just a minute.
Okay. Okay.
But the phone rings again. And after the first time, you see her, he kind of like, okay. And she kind of was like, oh, that's nothing. It means nothing.
Right.
Phone ring again and the answer machine pick up. This time, it's the college boyfriend, Derek, who ain't answered her calls in a week. He, trying to say, he miss her, whatever, whatever. And you see her
Right.
kind of looking like, then the phone get ready to ring again. So my question is when Yasir kind of asked Nuri, he was like, how many are there? And she was like, only you. First of all, that was a role reversal because that's some stuff that dudes be telling chicks like.
Oh, you think? This is what AO and I talk about this all the time, man. We are all the same. Regardless, we are all the same for the most part. Now, granted, women may be a little bit more emotional depending on the man, and men are normally a little bit more logical depending on the woman. So, but for the most part, man, we one and the same. We do the same stuff. It's just done a little bit differently. And when it's
So,
done by y'all, it catches us off guard.
so should she have told him ahead of time, like how I got on him, like he should have told her a little bit more about his background? Should she have told him that she was seeing other people? Or do you think as long as they aren't having sex or at the point of sex, she doesn't have to disclose who else she's dealing with?
No, I think she should. The moment that he laid his body inside that bed and stayed the night, whether they had sex or not, she is required at that moment to tell him who she's dealing with because he is in her sanctuary,
Right.
and anybody could pop over there.
And
So
people are
it'll
crazy.
it'll be good for him to know what's going on in your life. Now you don't have to be super detailed, but at least give me you know give me a little bit of information so I can be aware if something do pop off. I'm not standing there looking crazy, and I can
Right.
make that decision if I still want to come over there. So yeah, I think she should have told him who she's dealing with, or and like I said, not specifically tell him, but she definitely should have told him. Yeah.
So immediately after that, or like in between that time, they start discussing this whole ski trip conversation, right? So
Hmm.
they kind of go back to that ski trip conversation, and he says, "Go ahead and go." He knew he ain't want her to go. She knew he ain't want her to go, but he kept saying, "Go, go, go, go." Luckily, she said no. Now, my first issue with the conversation about the ski trip was this: why do men or women tell their significant other do stuff that they don't want them to do? You testing their temperature, and some people gonna call your bluff. So if you don't want them to do it, why not just say it up front?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that.
You playing a game and you gonna end up with egg on your face because
Egg on
you
your face.
already don't. It's gonna cause unnecessary frustration that don't even have to exist.
All right, and then I think it branches out into this is what I've been doing a lot lately is trying to, and then we had a conversation about this. It wasn't specific to this right here, but it's kind of like how if you act one way in your life, it's gonna trickle over to other areas of your life, and I think that's like even in that case with him telling her, "Hey, you can go," when he know he didn't really want her to go, it's the same thing that can eventually have him not telling her exactly how he feels about a lot of different things. It could be him really being honest about how he feels from his heart, even though he was aggressively saying it at the beginning. That's too fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's way too fresh. And so some things can change, and then he's afraid, or he won't be totally honest about how he feels. I think all of that trickles down to every other area. So if you just honest about how you feel, period, I feel like you won't run into no issues, because that person will know. And then you let that person make whatever decisions they feel like they need to make based off of what you're telling them. But I feel like being honest, man. I personally don't want to deal with lying, because it's gonna come back, and I just don't feel like dealing with it. I don't feel like dealing with the nervousness and the pressures of did I lie, or
What
did
did
she
I say the
find?
first
Yeah,
time?
yeah. Like did she find out something? I'll get a text or something like, we need to talk, and now I'm thinking about, oh shit, like, what did you know what I'm saying? So man, that rain kicking butt out there in the A, right?
Like, let me
Ah.
tell you, like that thunder and lightning. I'm like, the people on the podcast gonna be like, "What y'all got going on? Like, y'all got a whole film studio back there with sound effects." But
That's funny.
this is another thing.